Hello, welcome to the Grapefully Yours Wine Podcast. My name is Jim Campanini. I'm the co-host of the show with the wine butler, Michael Pigeon.
Salute.
Well, good morning, Michael. And boy, this is a milestone. This is our fifth show since InsideLowell.com launched its site and invited us to join. And it's been pretty good. The response has been pretty good. You've been happy?
I've been happy, and I love the last two shows with Craig and Daisy. They were excellent. Excellent.
Yeah. So this being a week before the Christmas holiday, and also leading into New Year's, it's very festive time. People are drinking a lot of, festive wines and bubbly. A lot of bubbly. We did that show with Daisy. We talked about champagne, and now we've got some other options. And today we're going to talk about the great Italian wine Prosecco, which is one of the leading bubblies in the world. Have you been drinking a lot of Prosecco lately?
Not too many times, but every now and then, just like that little bubbly, a little sparkly. It's a little different than the reds that I usually drink. Yeah.
Now, Judy, your wife, she drinks a lot of white wine, Chardonnay particularly. Does she like Prosecco?
Not particularly. She kind of
You're up the show.
Stays with her Chardonnay. She loves her Chardonnay, and that's it. Yeah.
All right. The wine goddess, Mary Lee, she drinks a lot of Prosecco, bubbly wine. She likes Chardonnay, but she likes to cleanse that palate, get a little refreshing taste, and that's why a bubbly effervescent wines are so good. They're low in alcohol. Of course, you got to watch the sugar content. That's why they come in different sugar levels. Brut is very dry. Brut nature, which is brut nature, it's spelled like, that is zero dosage. And then people sometimes have a misconception. They see extra dry on the bottle, which extra dry is actually one notch lower than brut. Yes. So there is a little sugar content in that, and then you've got the regular sweet. But before we get into our study of Prosecco, I got to ask you the quote of the week. Okay, what famous person said, "The best way to learn about wine is to drink it"?
You ask me a quote every week, and I have a hard time with them because I can't remember what my wife tells me when I go out the door for market basket that picks up. I don't know, was it a famous person sometime in history, years back? How about Picasso? He said, "Get me some Prosecco. This is Picasso. Bring me the Picasso."
Very good. There's no wrong answer to this quote, because when I looked it up, it's attributed to Anonymous.
Everybody says
Now,
it. Yeah.
Isn't that the same person who wrote the book on the Clinton years, Anonymous? But anyway, it's a pretty good quote to have around. The best way to learn about wine is to drink it. And I remember my Italian wine scholar instructor, the great Joanne Ross, when I decided to go into my wine scholar guild studies. She said, "Jim, you're gonna, there's a lot you can learn from the book and from maps and from photographs, but the best way you're going to learn is you got to drink it." And that's why I tell all of you out there, explore. Don't feel free to do that. Enjoy it, and keep a little archive book, what you like, what you don't like. It's fun. You'd be surprised after a couple of weeks, months, you look back in your book and you see what you drank, what you liked. But I also write down the people that I shared the bottle of wine with, what food we had it with, and it brings back some really nice memories. And at my age, I need to read about those memories, So anyway, let's get into the Prosecco. So we're going to talk about a Prosecco. It's an Italian sparkling wine, and it's made from the Glera grape. Now, this is an interesting thing because that Glera grape grows exclusively, in the Veneto region of northern Italy, northeastern Italy, And each bottle of Prosecco has to have a minimum 85% of this Glera grape in it to be an authorized bottle of Prosecco. But just think of this, okay? So you've got this little area, just like Champagne is a region and also a beverage, one of the most famous in the world in France. It comes from this little, about 25 villages. Okay, they make up the Champagne region. There's no more areas, where they grow champagne because the climate, the terroir, the chalky and limestone vineyards, it just excels. Yes, there are other people who we make bubbly in America. Some people even call it champagne, but it comes specifically from this region. And that grape, Glera, in the Prosecco region, just has a distinctive taste, nuttiness, in the grape, and it's just a fantastic taste. And so the Italians in this little area, okay, last year they produced 360 million bottles of Prosecco, okay, which is interesting because for the first time it's been acknowledged that more bottles of Prosecco have been sold than champagne, which is an astounding thing. In 2021, according to Drizzly, which is the online seller of wines and also a global research company on the liquor and wine industry, they said 180 million bottles of champagne, which actually was a slight increase, but Prosecco has just taken off. Okay, and so. What do you think of that?
Well, my question would be, who's drinking it? Champagne toasts at weddings,
yes,
at big business functions. No one is asking for a Prosecco toast. It's a champagne. Those are phenomenal numbers that you gave on the selling of the Prosecco. Who's drinking it all?
Okay, so that is a very good question. Okay, and I dug deeper. While champagne remains the number one New Year's Eve drink for toasting and for celebrations like weddings and sometimes even anniversaries, okay, Prosecco among the younger crowd and more people across the world are drinking it all the time, okay, because it's such a refreshing drink. But as we're going to show today, this is part of our anti-inflation, or call it our Inflation Reduction Act, Prosecco, okay? Because Fortune magazine, when I dug deeper, it said that Prosecco is gaining ground because of its price point. Okay, it's a lot cheaper than champagne, all right? Younger people are attracted to it, but even middle-aged and older people are looking at it and saying, the average price, according to Fortune magazine, of a bottle of champagne. Now, this is the average bottle of champagne, $57 a bottle.
Yeah. Well,
but the average price of a bottle of Prosecco is $16. So
I'm wondering if the bottle count got up so high because maybe people are buying what I buy, these little individual bottles of Prosecco. It's good for one glass. Looks like a champagne. It's got the nice top on a heavy glass. And once you open it, you can drink that. It's not like opening a big bottle. So maybe they're making a lot of these little bottles. It still counts as a bottle. So maybe
what is that? 350 milliliters?
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's
So this is a 750 milliliter bottle.
But that'd go flat if you didn't
which has
drink
about
it.
8 ounces. Okay, so hold that up, and that's the Lunetta Prosecco, which is a nice buy.
And you make a couple of pieces of cheese, a pepperoni or something, and you pour this in a glass, and it feels good. It's like a champagne almost. It's a bubbly wine.
So, but how did you purchase that, and how much does it cost?
I get these in a nice little 3-pack. And it's $10 for the 3-pack. I got that down at the Wine Connection in Andover's got other selections, but that Lunetta I really like. And like I said, you open it, you don't have to worry about, how's it going to be in 2 or 3 days. And
what is it? It serves 2 people, 2 glasses you get out of that?
Well, if I'm drinking, it's 1 glass. I mean, it's not that much in there, really.
But those are good, especially for the coming home from work or
Yeah.
just
In
relaxing.
the summer, I sit out after I cut your grass. I'll sit out on my little, lawn chair and just a little snack, some even maybe some goldfish or something. And what's nice about this here too, it's got a screw-on cap. None of the,
Oh,
you
wow,
don't have
yeah,
to
that's
work
pretty
too much.
interesting.
It looks just like
No,
but
three of those for $9.99. That's pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, let's. So we brought in my wife's favorite crystals. So we have to be very careful today. These nice flutes, and you gotta have sparkling wine in a flute, especially prosecco. So why don't you give me a little taste there? Look how easy that is. Huh? Nice screw cap. Where these are regular
Look at
corks.
that. Look at that, huh?
Yeah.
Nice and clear. Look at the. It's like a beer with a nice head on it.
The process to make Prosecco is different from Champagne. Champagne goes under two fermentation production processes. And of course, the main thing about Champagne is the second fermentation takes place in bottle. And it's aged a lot longer than Prosecco. Champagne has to be aged a minimum of, I think, 15 to 18 months. Okay, so Prosecco has a first fermentation where they make a still wine, okay, and then they put it into large pressurized steel tanks, okay, and they close it in and they start the fermentation, which traps the carbon dioxide. Okay, there's no they put it in a bottle and it might stay in bottle for a little time, but a champagne is racked, stays in the bottle, turned upside down and moved for over a year and a half. They keep rotating the bottle and then they eventually take out the wax that forms from the debris, the lees, as they say, sur lees, that the wine stays on the stems and seeds and stuff like that. Then it's recorked, placed back, aged a little longer. So champagne. And that's one of the reasons why it's so expensive. It's a labor-intensive process. Prosecco, you make it, put it in the steel tanks, it comes out,
you're done.
Boom.
Yep.
Now, going back to that, well, let's taste this.
It's good. I've tasted.
Salud. Mm. Now,
it's a happy drink.
It's a happy drink, yes. It wouldn't be fair to say that Prosecco, it's not a complex drink compared to Champagne. Let's face it, Champagne is just classic, traditional, strong. But you're not going to find 100 million bubbles in Prosecco, just the way it's made, okay? But it is sparkling. It's easy to drink. It looks good. And it tastes very, very refreshing. This, what would you say about this? What do you like about this?
It's a clarity, and it is a freshness to it. It's the bubbly, and
you could drink this in the morning with eggs.
It's close. It doesn't have
What?
It's a good little happy drink. It's a happy drink. You feel like you're drinking champagne almost.
Well, one of my favorite drinks. I've been to Venice twice and go to Harry's Bar and have the peach Bellini, which is Prosecco with the the peach. They put the what is the peach? The peach. What is the peach?
Apricot or peach?
Yeah, peach. Yeah, they put the peach in.
Yeah. Peach. Melba, no peach. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not a liquor. It's just regular. It's like grapefruit juice. It's like peach juice and stuff. Sometimes they put a little dash of sugar a little on it, but it's a great drink, and they drink it all the time. There are all different things you could put in Prosecco. I even learned lately that you could just like they make a champagne cocktail with cranberry juice. Now you can do it with Prosecco. So there's a lot of things you can do with Prosecco, but it is a great. I think it's just a nice, refreshing, calm. It's something that you could sip and enjoy, friends and everything else. But you got to drink it at a nice flute or a coupe. You know, you've got to. It just sets the tone, don't you think?
Adds, yeah.
Mm.
Adds
I like that.
aura, yeah.
I'm gonna have a little more.
You want a little more?
Well, yeah.
Well, that's what I said. It goes. That's like a one.
This is a holiday week. I'm not working. Well, I am retired, so why do I have to work anyway? So
one bottle of this is just right. That's why I like these little small bottles. And you know, you don't want to open another one. You say that's enough, and one little bottle.
And you know what? Prosecco is a great holiday gift. I don't think anyone's going to turn down a Prosecco. I've heard you know, from some people who, you know, say, oh, I don't drink sparkling wine. And I said, well, okay. I says, but you got to try Prosecco. It's not. They think sometimes it's gassy. It's really not. It's effervescent, but it basically stirs those senses in your mouth, and it's not as alcoholic.
No, 11%.
11% alcohol, so it's not something
Very
that's
low.
going to overheat you or
You
anything.
know, it's a nice afternoon.
So let's talk a little about these Proseccos that we have in front of us. Now, there are two kinds of Prosecco. 3 years ago, when the Italian winemakers realized that, you know, there's only so much vineyard space and acreage in the Veneto region, where Prosecco is it's a territory that is basically authorized by the government. You can only grow and produce Prosecco in this area, and so they said the world wanted more. There was, at that time, they were selling in the early mid 1990s to early 2000s about 100 million bottles a year of Prosecco. Well, naturally, the world of demand was increasing, and rather than have the prices go up, because that's what happens when the demand is limited, which could hurt sales, they said, we need more Prosecco, but there's only so much land. We can only grow so many grapes. So they came up with a Prosecco Rosé. It still had to be made to stricter guidelines, you know, the strict guidelines that they offered for the DOC Prosecco, which is the quality tier, is the second one down. DOCG is the top. DOC is next. Then you get the the IGT wines, and then table wines down below. So they created Prosecco Rosé, because if you know, the French were winning the battle with Rosé, selling more and more Rosé. That took over really took over the palate of the world. Everybody couldn't get enough Rosé, and now everybody's producing it. So they came up with a sparkling Prosecco Rosé. And what do you think they make it from? Where did they get those extra grapes to produce these extra bottles? What goes into Prosecco Rosé? What are the grapes?
Oh, well, the
It's
Glera.
pink, salmon, yeah, Glera.
Pinot Grigio can even go in, can it?
Well, that goes into the white.
Yeah.
That goes into the white.
But to give it the red,
Yeah.
the tan, it's from the...
What do they use in Champagne?
The
red grape.
Pinot Noir.
That's right.
Pinot
That's
Noir.
right. So there was plenty of Pinot Nero in Italy, which is Pinot Noir, and they started growing a lot more of Pinot Noir in the surrounding areas. They were already growing it, but now they could utilize it to be put into a percentage of the Prosecco Rosé. So now this is it could be 100% Pinot Noir, because, as you know, the color comes from the grape skin, the grape skin. So what happens is they allow the juice, during fermentation, to sit on those skins for brief periods, and it picks up the color, and that's how you get that salmon look, that pink look.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Tangerine, I'm a little tangerine.
Yeah. So for rosé lovers, it just took off, and I think that's where right now they're selling close to 80 million bottles a year of Prosecco Rosé, the new category. It's only been out for about, like I said, for about 3 years, and that thing is just taking off. And I think that's where all that extra wine comes in. But let's take it from the left here. Let's go from the left. If you want to hold the bottle, Mike. These are some you might consider for your holiday festivities, and it costs you less than $15. So that this one that Mike is holding now, the wine bottle, is
Ti amo.
Ti amo, which means I love you in Italy. Oh, how can you? Now, why would you present that? Yeah, to your loved one and say Ti amo. She'd probably say, "What is that?" And oh, I love you. Okay, so you got that one, and what do you think that costs?
Oh, well, it's not probably $11.99.
Close enough, Mike. $11. All right, so that's DOC authorized wine, and you're going to find that that comes actually from that's actually an organic wine. That's one of the only organic wines we have right here from vineyards in a very special area, Valdo Biadene, which is one of the top areas for grapes, the Glera grape in the Prosecco zone. Okay, it says here, I've had this many times before, but you're going to get some rich fruity aromas of apple and pear and citrus fruit. That fades into a nice floral bouquet. So, and that's what's so nice about Prosecco. It's got nice aromas, and you get all those different nuances in it. If I sink under the table, you'll have to go on. Okay,
See, and that's what's good about having that low alcohol level of 11%. You can drink and still finish a show, so that works out good too.
All right, here's another one of my favorites. Mianetto Prosecco. Now, Mike, hold that up. Look at that bottle, how beautiful that looks. Now, you put that on a table, a percent, that looks really rich, luxurious, with the nice green apple frame, and then you get the orange labeling and stuff. And Mianetto, they're one of the oldest houses, Prosecco houses in the Veneto region. Very, very good. Another DOC wine. It goes through that fermentation process and the pressurized tanks. But the Mianetto family, back in 1984, they were one of the first to pioneer the Chamat method, which uses the pressurized tanks. So they know how to make Prosecco, and this is their entry level one. Once again, $11, $11 a bottle. So there's a nice one to present on Christmas Day. This one is actually one of the favorites. It's called Bria, right? Bria, which means brilliant. Now look at that bottle. It's got highlights, right? Very pretty. This is the rosé. And that's the 220. Now, Prosecco Rosé, by government requirement, can't be a cuvée. So these are all cuvées. These grapes can be taken different years and combined together, just like champagne cuvée, okay? And they make Prosecco. This has to carry the vintage date on it. So this is a 2020, meaning that all the grapes used to make this bottle of Prosecco were grown in that year, okay, and that produced. So it's almost on the order of a vintage champagne, and this costs $19 naturally, because
is that organic also?
No, I don't think this is organic. Does it say it on the bottle here?
That usually adds another $2 to the price.
No. Well, but they're using limited number of grapes. They have to use all the grapes from that from that year grown on their estate. So it's almost like a specialty wine, and this is extra dry, which means that it's just a little sweeter, but not much. It's still a dry Prosecco. It still has 11% alcohol.
That little bit sweeter can make a difference, though, if you're not into sugary.
Well, it's not that sugary. It's more fruity. Yeah. That comes across as more fruity and stuff. Okay, and our last one, why I saved for last, because I'm a big fan of Costco wines.
You like the Kirkland wines. They are all
this is the Kirkland signature wine. But what separates this from all the rest, okay, is this is Asolo, Superiore Prosecco. Now, Asolo is one of the top growing areas for the Prosecco grape protected by the Italian government, and it guarantees that this is the top level wine, a DOCG wine, the top tier of quality. It has to undergo a very stringent, more stringent a production process than these other wines. But Kirkland has a winery out there that produces this grape. This bottle, which is the top tier, quality wine, and I've had this many times, $7.99 at Costco.
Wow.
How did they do it? So it might not be as pretty as the Mianetto.
It's what's
or the
inside the
Prosecco.
bottle.
But for anybody who wants to try Prosecco for the first time or share it with guests, I mean, I have 6 bottles of this in my refrigerator right now. Just keep it around for when guests just come over, when we just watch a movie or something and we just want something to relax, and it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
As you said, it makes a beautiful gift. The bottles are attractive, and for those that haven't tried it, you're not putting a lot of money into it.
No.
It's definitely worth a try if you haven't, had Prosecco. And a lot of people are probably just stuck with wines and haven't given it a chance.
So the other one that I drink regularly is the La Marca Prosecco. You've seen that. It's got the blue label. It's another one, $11. So let's wrap up Prosecco. It's an inexpensive sparkling wine that gives you more bang for your buck. Okay? And it's very, very good with different kinds of foods, appetizers. The rosé is a step up. Now, you can find other Proseccos that cost $25 that are DOCG bottles, and those comes from specific areas that are site protected and stuff like that. So, yes, there are different levels of Prosecco, but these, I think, are going to be very satisfying for anybody. Last thoughts?
Yeah, no, I when I see the pretty bottle like that, it reminds me that you took me once to Isaiah Thomas, I think it was, in Manchester. He had the Churlin, the
Churlin champagne.
It looked just like that, and it was, I think, $80 a bottle or something. So, boy, that's a nice substitute if you want to have some friends over, but still give them the bubbly experience and a nice little with cheese and a dip or something.
And that nice write-up I gave Isaiah Thomas, he still hasn't sent me that case.
Well, don't hold your breath.
But okay, so we're done with Prosecco. We got a few minutes left. Now, I want to talk to you about going ahead, look into the new year, wines of the year. Wine Spectator just came out with their top 100 wine values of the past year. They were the best wines, okay. Number 68 on the list, which I wrote about early last year. Now, I didn't know it was going to be picked by Wine Spectator, but I focused on it, talked about it in one of my columns that you can find on my thewinenovice.com website, was Luke from Walla Walla, Washington. The Waluki Slope cost $18.95 at the Wine Connection in Andover. I tasted it. We tasted it. It was the Merlot. I knew it was going to be a fabulous wine. Boy, the thing sold out. Wine Spectator picked it number 69 on its top 100 list. Okay? It got 93 points. I mean, where are you going to get an $18 wine?
93 points.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good...
I still have 6 bottles in my cellar, okay, because you haven't gotten down there in a while,
It's right on top of that horsepower.
Yes. But they also have a Cabernet Sauvignon that sells for less than $25. It's very good, rated over 90 points. You should look for that because the Merlot is sold out for this year, but the Cabernet Sauvignon is being sold in New Hampshire and other stores. You should pick up a bottle. But this is my pick to watch out for in 2023. What better name in Lowell? Pillars of Hercules. Okay, it's a red blend from the Guiere Estate, Yolo County, California. Just it's south of San Francisco, the area where this is grown. Now, take a look at that. This is a big, bold, robust wine, and yet when you taste it, it's not going to overwhelm you.
14.3, that's robust. Yeah.
14.3 alcohol level. Now, what makes this interesting, this is the people, you might have seen matchbook wines, okay? So the owners, Elaine and John Gigieri, they met in high school, married. They've been in the wine industry all the years. They started out as farmers, though. They had 2,500 acres of farmland. Eventually, they converted it to growing grapes and stuff. So it's got an interesting name, Pillars of Hercules. Does it live up to its standard? And I tasted it last week. It is an excellent wine. I just want to tell you the grapes that are in it: Petit Syrah, Petit Verdot, which is a Bordeaux varietal, and Terradalgo. Now, Terradalgo is an Italian grape variety, okay, that adds nice red cranberry fruit components to the black fruit that is already in it. It's supposed to give it a little more structure and stuff. It probably does. But this won a silver medal at the 2022 San Francisco Chronicle wine competition. And here's the key thing I want to tell you about, okay? Wine Enthusiast has already rated this wine over last year, and they gave it 93 points. 93 points. This bottle sells for $4.69. Once again, Costco. It's big on the West Coast. They do have a Northeast distributor, but right now it's only selling in Costco. Okay? Here's what Wine Enthusiast said about this. This quietly impressive wine is deep and saturated, but not showy, offering its incredibly concentrated black fruits and dark chocolate on a full body. Well, I don't know if this is going to make Wine Spectator's 100 list next year, but it certainly is on mine, and it should be on yours. You should grab a bottle, taste it, and get back to me. Tell me what you think. But for $14.69, a red blend, I think this will.
And where is
really
that available at?
It's available at Costco.
So you have to have that card to go into Costco.
You have to have the card, but get a friend to buy it for you. And Costco gets these lots. Every once in a while. Once they're sold out, they're gone.
They're gone.
But I was up there last week, and they still had about 24 bottles of this. Okay, and I'm just saying, Pillars of Hercules. It'll really it's a muscular wine. It's a good wine. So, any closing thoughts for the holidays? You want to say anything? We have to go.
No, I think you summed it up very well today with Prosecco, and the price isn't going to turn you against buying it, and it's a good bubbly. Give it a shot. Yep.
So try the Prosecco. Get a bottle of this wine. Start your holidays off great. Drink. Drink moderately, okay? Be safe, and may the wine be with you.
And the wine be with you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, James. You also. Cheers to the viewer.